Hi, my name is Doc, and you are watching Popcast, a crowd-sponsored yo-yo show. Quick shout out to Greg Knowles and all the rest of my sponsors over on patreon.com/DocPop for making this show possible. I just bought a new camera because of you guys. Thank you so much. In each episode of Popcast, I like to break down a trick concept. In this particular episode, we're going to talk about a trick called Straight Jacket Escape. But before we do, I want to talk about the yo-yo emoji, which is very close to my heart. If you watched my video from May of 2018, you saw that I helped petition Unicode consortium for the yo-yo emoji, which was accepted. So I started writing the proposal in 2017. In 2018, about the middle of the year, it got accepted. But there was a long wait since then. Unicode wasn't actually released until March of this year. Unicode 12 came out, which had the yo-yo emoji. But even then, it was a long wait for each of the big companies to adopt Unicode 12 into their operating systems. Now, each company does their own style of emoji, and they can be pretty close to the original proposal or stray pretty far away. So, of course, now that Apple has released version iOS 13.2 of their operating system, which finally has emoji in it, now we have enough of the big emojis to do what you've all been waiting for, a review of the yo-yo emoji. I know. Calm down. Let's get started with the original emoji, which was the emoji proposal. We see a lot of things that are kind of adopted by the other companies in the original proposal. We see a purple yo-yo with some yellow string. The string, I want to point out, respects gravity. This comes into play later. But we've got a nice kind of 3D vector art purple emoji. The art implies that it's rim weighted, which is pretty cool. Most of the other ones kind of go for the imperial shape. This one actually has kind of sort of a modern look to it. So that's the original design by Affy Messer. This is the one that we submitted along with the PDF of why Unicode needs the yo-yo emoji. They accepted it and included that example when everybody else, all the big companies, found out about the new updates. So it's going to influence a lot of the later releases because it's what they saw first. Let's do the Microsoft version. The Microsoft version has that purple emoji, again, yellow string that respects gravity, and kind of a soft, light purple color on the inside. Not quite rim weight. We are kind of seeing more of that rounded shape that most of the companies did. The Microsoft emoji also has this weird thick black outline outside of it, which as an artist just kind of makes me twinge. Like it's a thick line. I guess it looks consistent with the rest of their emojis, and it helps the emoji stand out if it's going to be on various color backgrounds, light backgrounds, dark backgrounds. You'll still be able to read this, but just on its own, the Microsoft purple emoji, I'm going to give a 6. Going along with the purple, we have the Samsung emoji. This one is interesting. It has a star added to the side, which is a trend that I saw pop up with 3 other of the big emojis. I don't know where that came from. There's something happened, and somewhere along the line, someone said the yo-yo isn't a yo-yo unless it has a star on it, which is, it looks cool, it looks stylish, and it looks very retro. We see a couple things here with the Samsung emoji. We see that purple from the original proposal. We see the string does not respect gravity, and here the string is just floating for some reason. I definitely prefer the string draped down, as if it's kind of coming towards you or laying on a table. But here, for some reason, I guess someone has a yo-yo in space and the string is just kind of floating. And speaking of the string, if you look closely, you'll see that there's not a knot on that string. It is just, the string just curls. So do not, if someone gives you a Samsung yo-yo, do not throw it hard because it's just going to fly off your hand. There's no knot. You need a knot on your string. Everybody else got this right. Samsung, you've got some shading, some gradients. I like what you're doing, but that string is just too dangerous. This is going to be a 5. Now let's go over to the Twitter emoji, which is part of the Tweemoji project. Oddly enough, this is super weird. Twitter has an open source emoji project called Tweemoji, and Twitter doesn't use that for all of their platforms. So Tweemoji will show up on Twitter for your computer, like on the web, but not in the app. And so it was, God, I don't understand. Emoji is so weird. Unicode is weird, but when Twitter has their own emoji standard that they don't even use in their app, I don't know what's going on there. No, the Twitter emoji, once again, does not respect gravity. We have this gray string, this thick gray string, just pointing up like a middle finger in the air. And we've got basically otherwise a version of the original proposal, kind of a flat, it's a different color, but just a classic yo-yo, not too rounded, not too butterfly. I'm going to say this is the 7. I mean, I know the string is floating up in the air, but this really reads well, and you know, it's open source. So Twitter emoji gets a 7. Facebook yo-yo emoji is crazy. It is so detailed. The string, you can actually see the threads in the string. Most of the time, emoji is meant to read really small, and it's just some simple vector art. But this particular yo-yo is highly detailed with shading, reflections. Again, it has that like Homestar Runner yellow star on it. I do not know where the star came from and why everyone kind of integrated it. It's a neat part of the mystery, but it looks great. This yo-yo looks fantastic. However, I'm going to have to say, if you shrink it down really small, that string doesn't read super well. I appreciate what they were going with their realism, but I feel like it could have been done better if they did it like everyone else and just kind of did just a flat, simple line with no shading. That being said, this is probably the best looking yo-yo emoji, and I'm going to go on and say it's a 9. It respects gravity. I like it. Google's yo-yo, to me, looks like 2 flat red discs, maybe half an inch apart, with just a giant gap, and the string. The string does respect gravity. I really appreciate that. Here we have some spirals on the side too, which is pretty stylish. Maybe they saw the stars everyone else was doing and they wanted to have some sort of graphic in there, but they wanted to go for something more unique, or maybe it implies kind of a spinning. I'm going to say the Google emoji is an 8. It's a great yo-yo. It's possibly a butterfly, which, you know, I know everyone thinks of kind of the imperial shape when they think of yo-yos, but nobody throws those really anymore. This is probably a little bit more closer representation to everything we see. And yeah, the string is great. It's got some shading, some gradients, easy to read when it's small. The Google emoji is an 8. Now there's a couple other kind of smaller emojis, Emojipedia, OpenMoji, Joy Pixels. They're all fine, but we don't really need to talk about those because you're not going to see those anywhere. You're going to see the Google emoji on Android. You're going to see the Microsoft on Microsoft, the Samsung on Samsung. The Apple emoji, that's the one that I think is usually the last to come out. Apple's really slow with their emojis whenever a new Unicode comes out. Usually takes them about 8 months to come out for some reason, and it's a big deal when they do. You didn't hear about anybody else's emojis coming out, but when the Apple emoji came out, everyone was like, oh, the yo-yo emoji is finally out, even though it had been out on Twitter since July. The Apple emoji has a very classic shape. It's got some great gradients. They went with this green, which is bold. No one else went for green in their design. Their string respects gravity. It looks great. It's very 3D. It's very textural. Again, you've got these, you can see the curls in the strings, the kind of separation of the strings. You can see a knot very clearly. I'm going to say, just based on the string, the Apple emoji is a perfect 10. Yeah, the Apple emoji is a perfect 10. I know Facebook had some realism to their string, but it was real thin looking, and it actually looked kind of old, like a yo-yo you'd find in the drawer. This looks like a brand new yo-yo that has not been thrown yet. It looks crisp and fun, and yes, I love it. So I want to hear your thoughts on the yo-yo emojis. Let me know which yo-yo emoji is your favorite and which you hate, and what you think about gravity-defying string. Am I being too crazy? Like, definitely, you want to have knots in your string. That is a hard line I'm not willing to cross. But maybe I'm just being ridiculous with everything else. Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about today's trick, which is called the straitjacket escape. Today's trick we're going to learn is a double or nothing transition. It's called the straitjacket escape, and it looks like this. Bam. So that move is super simple and really addictive to put into stuff. Let's break it down from the double or nothing. Obviously, you start with the double or nothing. What you're going to do is you're going to pull your right hand forward, and that string comes off of your index finger. So you're into double or nothing, you just kind of go forward, you look like this. Now I tend to pinch just a little bit with my left finger. This string goes on this side of the yo-yo, and this string goes under. So what you've just done is basically locked the yo-yo in like a Mach 5, and then to get out, you just drop your right finger, and the whole thing just falls. When I'm teaching it, I do tend to kind of hold the yo-yo static and just do that drop. But when I'm performing this trick, I actually like to hop the yo-yo up as I do that move and hop the yo-yo up as I come out. So hop, hop. Hop, I'm locked in. Hop, I come out. Now there's all sorts of things you can do from the straitjacket escape. One that I like to do a lot is to go to a 1.5 slack combo. And I'm going to kind of show you how to do that. First off, start with that double or nothing, straitjacket escape, give it a nice high pop, cross your arms and catch. So that's high, cross, right hand over left, pinch. Keeping your left hand low, you're going to go around and catch again. So now I'm here. I'm going to do a little Ouija bow hop, pinch again, right? So now we're in a kind of a 1.5, and you go once, twice. Recently, one of my favorite things I've been doing from the straitjacket escape is to go into a little gyroscopic flop. And that's super fun. It puts you into a bind. So again, you're going to do just a straitjacket escape. Now I'm going to set up the strings just by kind of wrapping my fingers and putting my thumbs through, just to shorten the strings, and do your gyroscopic flop. That just takes practice, kind of knowing when to rotate. Once you're at the full rotation, you just drop, and you're going to just pull because you're in a bind. So that's the straitjacket escape. I hope you enjoy adding that to your combos. If you end up learning this trick and using it, post it on Instagram with the hashtag PopcastYoYo so I can see the progress you guys are doing and what you're doing with the trick. Straitjacket escape, hashtag PopcastYoYo. And that's it for this episode of Popcast. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks again to all of my Patreon sponsors over on patreon.com/DocPop. You helped make this possible. I got a new camera because of you, and I get to do these videos once a month because of your support. So if you like the show, check out patreon.com/DocPop, and you can find out about some special offers you get once you sponsor the show on there. As well, I just recently shared an exclusive clip video just for the audience on Patreon of modern responsive tricks with a freehand yo-yo. It's very raw stuff. I just wanted to kind of document it and share it with a few people. If you want to see that, you got to sign up on Patreon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next episode.